After extensive discussion, the Fayetteville City Council tonight says yes to clear the way for a new junior high school. The plan has faced a lot of support and a lot of pushback over the weeks. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer has been following the debate from the start, joining us now with reaction to what was an important night tonight.
Yeah, council's members said tonight's decision was one of the hardest decisions they faced, and you could really hear a pin drop as they were voting. After 3 meetings and hours of public comment, tonight the council voted 5-3 to rezone the property off College Avenue for a new Ramay Jr. high school. Fayetteville Superintendent Dr. John Mulford says the district is thankful to finally move forward with the project.
We're extremely grateful. We know it's a tough decision. We know there's a lot of emotions on both sides of this issue. And, our city council is just trying to make the best decision they can for the community.
At Tuesday night's meeting, around 20 people voiced support for the rezoning, arguing the current zoning doesn't fit the area and that a school is better used for the property.
I think we all would agree that at the end of the day, we don't want 80 homes on this hillside. Because we feel so strongly about the school, it's been easy to get sidetracked from that.
More than 10 others spoke against the rezoning, citing concerns about geology, stormwater runoff, traffic, and environmental impacts.
It's not a green building if you remove precious habitat for buildings and ball fields.
Dr. Mulford says the site's proximity to nearby neighborhoods makes it more walkable and designed with efficiency and the environment in mind.
It's immersed in essentially the woods. And so it creates a learning environment for kids where they can be exposed to nature that most schools never have the opportunity to have.
He says now they want to have a project everyone on both sides can be proud of.
Our goal now is to show the city council that they made the right decision by being a good partner in the development of this area, good partner in improving the safety of both vehicular and pedestrian traffic, and that's what we intend to do.
Dr. Mulford says now they'll be submitting plans to the city to work with city staff to review the plans, make adjustments, and make sure they're aligned with city code. He says they hope to start construction in May or June. Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
All right, Lauren, thanks. The future of Parrot Island in Fort Smith will have to wait at least a few more weeks. Fort Smith City directors tonight, we're going to talk about taking over complete operational control of the water park, but the issue was pulled after it was determined it was incorrectly placed on tonight's agenda.
I would reference the language in the ordinance we passed on November 18th to put guardrails on situations like this that says if the estimated cost of a capital project, and I think this would fall under a project by the definition included in the ordinance, if it's estimated to be more than $100,000, the management fees at Parrot Island for this year are budgeted at $105,000. And in years past, we've spent over $100,000.
Now, the board did approve a 2026 operational budget. It is a structurally balanced operational budget, which was accomplished in just the last few weeks. City staff trimmed a nearly $4 million deficit by eliminating unfilled positions.
There were some hard decisions in this process. Perhaps most significant was the elimination of the 61.15 full-time equivalent vacant staff positions across all funds, but also specifically the general fund, including the elimination of vacant police and fire uniform positions.
Cutting police officers certainly concerns me. I've said for a number of years that we need to be adding police officers. So yes, I'm concerned that reducing the number of police officers that we have available could impact public safety in a negative way.
The Parrot Island issue will be discussed in a study session scheduled for next month. New at 10 tonight, a Fayetteville murder suspect claims a jail guard destroyed legal paperwork and makes his complaint in a handwritten letter to a judge. Here's a copy of that letter filed in Washington County Circuit Court. It's written by Casey Jennings, who's charged with killing and abusing the corpse of his ex-girlfriend in 2022. Letter filed in court today alleges a deputy stole some of his legal documents and accuses the system of being corrupt. Jennings even claims they're trying to make it an unfair fight. 5 News reached out to the sheriff's office. We're told it's looking into the matter, but that Jennings never filed any complaint about this before. Jennings is representing himself in the case and faces the death penalty. Tomorrow, Aaron Spencer will be back in court. We've told you he's the man accused of shooting and killing a man who allegedly sexually abused his daughter. is also in the midst of a campaign for sheriff in Lonoke County, Arkansas. He officially started that campaign last week, but if convicted, he would be removed from that race. In national news tonight, police in Rhode Island released new images of the person of interest in connection to the shooting at Brown University. Dressed in a hat, dark colors, and a mask covering most of his face, the FBI now offering a $50,000 reward. There is an increased police presence around Providence, Rhode Island, as the search for the gunman heads into its fourth day. Investigators say he should be considered armed and dangerous. A memorial is growing at the university as friends remember those they've lost.
I feel like everyone says this about their friends when something like this happens, but he was literally one of the nicest people I knew.
A second person injured in the shooting was released from the hospital today. A chicken farm in southeast Arkansas has neighbors outraged after they share evidence of improperly dumped carcasses and contaminated water. As Tanya Moderzitsky reports, those neighbors are hitting roadblocks trying to get those complaints heard.
They don't take care of them. They don't clean them.
It's going to take the value of our property down.
Residents like Janet Kimsey say one in particular off Highway 63 with a Tyson chicken sign outside is causing problems. Residents share these pictures with me from last month that show dead goats on the property line, dead chickens, and what neighboring farmer owners say is sludge with E. coli and other parasites coming from the chicken farm where dead chickens are stored and getting into the Kissy Creek that flows into the Saline River.
When it rains, that water goes down the ditches, down in front of my house.
But the smell, she says, is unlike any other chicken farm she's been around.
Summertime, it's terrible. You go back to the Dollar General during the summertime, you can't hardly stay in there.
I'm at the farm that everyone in the community is complaining about. There's a Tyson sign in front, about to knock on the door and see what they say or if they answer. They answered, but there was a language barrier. So we looked into who owns the farm now and what's being done. The sign out front reads Tina Farms LLC Tyson. On the Arkansas Secretary of State's website, it says Tina Farms is not licensed. They tell me the previous owner of the farm had their license revoked in January of 2024 because they did not pay their franchise fees. We found a complaint filed with the Arkansas Division of Environmental Quality. It says, quote, the owners of this chicken farm are nasty and very neglectful. The complaint goes on to say they leave dead chickens in the shed until there is black liquid running from them. There's no environmental protectors. Dead trees are everywhere. We talked to the department. They say a complaint like that likely got pushed to the State Department of Agriculture. Tonight, the message residents have for city, county, and state leaders is loud and clear.
Chicken houses, we don't really want them. They're going to be in our front yard.
Real estate records show the name of the operation has changed several times in the last few years. County, state, and federal agencies have not responded to requests for comment. Arkansas PBS is preparing for a major change. 5 News first told you last week the Arkansas Educational Television Network has ended its affiliation with PBS, citing ongoing financial pressures. Arkansas PBS is home to more than 70 programs, many that you'll no longer see on PBS. It's rebranding to Arkansas TV. Executive Director Carlton Wing says keeping that local focus is key to its mission. Arkansas is the first state to cut ties with PBS. Wing says or explains what this means to viewers.
People who still want to see specific programs that they've come to know on PBS, those are still available. They just won't be available on our over-the-air broadcast. But we'll have documentaries, we'll have movies, we'll have education, we'll have all of that. It'll just be different titles.
The network says it expects to officially end its affiliation with PBS by the end of June.